Yo, when I tell you this is about to be the most controversial tier list I've done, people getting mad that I don't like the same songs that they like. Imagine if I don't like the same wrestlers. Alright, so this is the pool. For the most part, I'm kind of semi-ignoring NXT because I don't really watch it. So at the top, great/I look for. I'm anticipating the appearance of this superstar on the episode of Raw or SmackDown. Self-explanatory. This person's pretty good. I like them. Neutral/whatever, okay. Basically, I'm okay with them, but it's like, I'm not waiting for them or nothing like that. Not much care. The superstars that I don't even really think of or I forget about, basically. But let me explain this next one. Don't like/annoying/tainted. This either means I've been cursed with insider knowledge or shit I've seen behind the scenes, some shit that kind of ruins the person for you or whatever. But yeah, for the key people on here that I have a significant amount to speak on, I'll make my point for them. I won't go too in depth with everybody, but those worth it, I will. But before we begin, hold that thought. Hold up. Let me try this side. Let me see what this looks like. Oh, shit. All right, so let's begin. Who should we start with? This is literally just for the record so that I can show people that I'm different. No, because I feel like there's some people who are literally just bots in the sense that they just like all the people that you're told to like. Couldn't be me. Shit. Anyways, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the Bloodline. So, is this going to be ordered within tiers? Yes. All right, so first we're going to start off with Jacob Fatu. I look forward to seeing his appearance on Friday Night SmackDown. Great talent, obviously. The hype was surrounding him before he even made it to the company. I was one of the people that knew him before, like seeing his indie stuff, what kind of crazy things he could do for his size. Crazy athlete, good on the mic, great presence, good in the ring. Might be my favorite Bloodline member after Reigns. That could change depending on where they go with him in the story. Reigns is self-explanatory. Tribal Chief. Like I said before in another video, Reigns is the one who got me back into watching wrestling. Alright, next. Speaking of Tribal Chief, Solo Sikoa. I kind of liked him more as just the enforcer. Him as bootleg Tribal Chief or whatever of this new Bloodline. I'll say he's alright, but he's no Roman Reigns when it comes to believability of like Tribal Chiefness. In fact, people have been pointing out that the new Bloodline without Solo is actually kind of more hype. So I'll just put him as I like. Which brings me to the Tongans. Kind of the same. They haven't had them talk too much, but I think I like Tama Tonga a little bit more than Solo, believe it or not, right now. Tonga Loa is a complete meme right now. People just like him because like he botches, which is crazy. I don't think anyone's ever been in that position where they like you because you botch, but I like his existence in the group. I'll say that. I just hope to God he don't do them punches when he gets in a match eventually. Without context, I don't know what was happening there. I don't know the level of seriousness between... Anyways. Alright, now here we go. Jimmy Uso. Actually, The Rock. Hold on, checkpoint. Do I like current Rock, Final Boss Rock, more than Tribal Chief Roman Reigns? This is hard because at the point of this video, Roman's face now, which he's still cool, but he ain't really said anything yet. And I don't know if they're going to make him slightly lame. I don't think his character is going to change up too much, so that might be his saving grace. Rock, Final Boss. Probably not my favorite version all time of Rock, but it's up there. Final Boss is definitely better than anything else he's ever returned with after his initial career kind of ended. I guess if we're comparing that to current Roman, I might have to do it character-wise, because I'm scared of what the direction they're about to go with Roman right now. And without the belts, without him technically being the Tribal Chief right now, I think he's slightly lost some aura. He still has like a lot of it, but he's beside The Rock right now, so second place for me at the moment. Jimmy Uso. I have to be careful while I put this. Hold on, let me think. I think I got him here. One of the problems I had with the Bloodline story, which I'm about to go into further depth in a second, it's the flippity-floppedness of what they were doing with Jimmy and Jay's characters. From a continuity standpoint, I hated that Jimmy effectively is the one who had the balls to stand up to Roman, kicks him in the face, and then next thing you know, he's goofy now. But then of course you go on like Twitter and shit, and everyone's just like, oh my god, Jimmy's so funny, oh my god, he's so unserious, crying emoji with the tears. Like what? Anyways, but ultimately, I had to do this to say this. Get mad? Type about it. Now let me explain this. Because again, if you go online, IWC, whatever, I'm about to explain a little while back the Jey Uso hate. Now, I don't hate Jey Uso. I've kind of fallen off of him. And before people try and say fickle, no. There was absolutely enough reason for people to change up their opinion on what they thought of Jey Uso. From, say, SummerSlam to now. Jey Uso's character back then, some of those people might be hating, yes, but at the same time, the other half might be more real than half of you guys. Because here's the thing. I wanted Jey, as per storyline, I thought it would have been a better option if Jey was the one to dethrone Roman and become the tribal chief. Now, there's going to be some of you who got mad at me putting Jey Uso here, but I can guarantee you thought it would be much better if your boy Cody Rhodes finished the story. You're probably one of them finished the story kids. So how much were you supporting Jey really? I thought the Jey Uso character at that time was better, and I thought they were building up to him being a more serious deal and becoming a main event. But effectively, as we see now, they just basically made him goofy too. I thought the only problem with Jey, aside from like his limited moveset at the time or whatever, I thought he just needed a new finisher, maybe a couple new other moves too, and not the spear. I thought it was cool that he did the spear to Roman, but the fact that he's like kind of using it as his own thing now too, now it's kind of like, I don't know. And then he could be on his way to being an actual main event guy. As soon as he started soldier boying on his sunglasses and making Samoa and Will Smith noises, that was it. He never holding this one now. And people are mad at that. They're trying to use popularity as an argument just because people like to do this. Now his promos and his whole speech cadence is just yeet every second. And goddamn, if I have to watch this stupid ass combo one more time. His character was so much more complex than that just like a couple months before that. There was so much character development just to throw it all away. And now this is what we're dealing with. And everybody's getting mad. Rikishi getting mad, telling them like Jey he should drop out if they're not going to put a title on him. So with Jey right now, I'm just like, whatever. Definitely not better as a character for me or interesting as a character than where he was going peak Bloodline. Again, this could change later, but you're not about to force me to like Soul J Boy more than I have to. And again, when it comes to this whole tier list, just because I don't have something where you would put it, like you're allowed to still like Jey, have Jey up here. I'm giving you permission to like. Nah, because I gotta talk about something else now. Because motherfuckers, content creators too do this. It's like you guys will take all the safe opinions and like who you're supposed to like. Like I'll sit here and say like, oh, Jey Uso's like kind of okay, whatever for me. Or I'll say I don't like this person who's like super popular. But you'll sit there and hate all the easy targets. When it comes time for you to have an opinion, you'll be like, oh, you know, Jinder Mahal shouldn't have beat Randy Orton for the world. Like, if you don't get out here with that safe-ass opinion. Anyways, Cody Rhodes. Nah, I'm not even done. I'm continuing from the editor's position. You people will dogpile Maxine or Jade Cargill or something. But as soon as somebody hates on somebody who's popular, who doesn't even need defending, people coming out with full-on videos, practically on the verge of tears, talking about, the Jey Uso hate is so forced. It's cringe. Stop it. Stop hating Cody Rhodes. Like, what the fuck? Yo, get the fuck out of here. Now, contrary to, I guess, what people thought or predict, I can't put him here. I just noticed that's too high if I put him up here. Because basically, what's happening right now, at the time of this video, is essentially everything I predicted was going to happen as soon as he won the championship. I probably like him more than that. And that's not much of anything. Just the typical standard babyface run with not much substance going on yet until we get to either Randy Orton, The Rock, or Roman. Anything else is basically filler. And to my argument before, the reason why I wanted Jey to win, become the champion for storyline purposes, is because I thought that was a better story to tell than this separate story of Cody Rhodes that did not need to interact with Roman in the first place. I would have liked this finish the story thing a lot more if it happened while Orton was a champion, or the champion. So maybe have Orton somehow beat the Bloodline. Because to be honest, there was only two viable options. Aside from Orton being injured, we would have had to wait longer. So essentially what I would have done is I would have had Orton win the championship. But that wouldn't have been possible because he was injured at the time. And I guess from a kayfabe standpoint, who's going to be his backup to like help him beat the... I guess you could pull the same thing where Undertaker comes back and all that shit just to help Randy. And he wins that way. But again, he was injured at the time, so this can't happen. So my other choice was actually Bobby Lashley. I thought he was one of the few people left who could have fought Roman, and it would have been believable that he could win. Because what I thought was happening is I thought him and the Street Profits were about to reform like Hurt Business 2.0. I thought they're going to add maybe Carmelo, and then he could have had Hurt Business match up versus the Bloodline and win that way. That would have been good storytelling too, and it could have been fine. But for whatever reason, every content creator completely disregarded like Lashley's existence. That was fucking bizarre to watch. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, Lashley could have won, then Orton could have come back, win it eventually off Lashley. And then you could have Cody finish the story against Orton, which would have been way better for Cody because of the history these two have with legacy and shit like that. The story would have basically shown how much like how far Cody's come, and he's not just like some side character in the group of legacy, and he's essentially overcome his old leader. But people insisted that the Bloodline story was about Cody. That made no sense. How Cody gonna join the Bloodline story halfway through and become the main character? Anyways, it started with Jey and should have ended with Jey, but now he's doing this and it's hard to take him serious. So Cody, I'm like okay with. As soon as if he goes heel, I've seen his heel work. It's way better. Again, no surprise. Right now, he's okay for me right now. Anyway, who's next? This video's gonna be 3 hours. I guess since we kind of spoke about Orton, checkpoint. I definitely, I'm changing that down here. It's gonna be cool when he comes back. I hope he comes back with the right character, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I can't. If he's still gonna be goofy and lose on a losing streak, then I'm just keeping him here. Orton, for me, barely makes it into top tier at the moment, for the reason of I like him way better as a heel. Again, another guy I like more as a heel. Surprise. Orton as a babyface, it kind of feels like he's not done too much. His matches haven't been like crazy amazing to me, but I do like Orton, so I'll put him here. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do real quick. We're going to actually throw some shit in here just to reduce this crowd. This isn't I hate these people, it's just that either the company is doing nothing with them, or I don't find them interesting. Alright, so I kind of chunked into this tier with who I have not much care for. So you're probably wondering why Triple H is on here. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. Let's talk about Triple H real quick, because I did want to make this point. Ignore him as a wrestler, but effectively we're talking Triple H booking versus Vince McMahon booking. Let's talk about this for a second. Since Triple H took over the WWE product, a few things have changed, obviously. A lot of the good things that I take a liking to that is just way better is some of the camera work is way better. Like the backstage stuff, that's cool. And general storylines are better for the most part. Character development, continuity, shit like that. However, I think enough time has passed now to where I could say not every storyline needs to be drawn out to infinity. For example, how many weeks is it gonna take to tease Austin Theory finally being convinced that he should be a babyface and ditch Grayson? Like, my God, there's a difference between long-term storytelling and taking long to tell a story. Like, let's say this is the starting point and the finish line is over here. We could be moving like this. That's cool. But sometimes it's like the starting point is here and the finish line's like actually here, but we're telling the story like this. Like the story progression is fucking slow as shit. It's like there's not much story to tell, but you're still like milking it before you get here, just so like months have passed by the time you get to this point. And that's what I feel like they're doing here. The same thing kind of goes for Xavier Woods. Karrion Kross trying to convince this guy like, hey, ditch Kofi. We're telling the same storyline again. I don't know why. Anyways, Triple H I got up here. And while we're kind of on the topic of that, let me talk about the Wyatt Sicks for a second. So far at the time of this video, actually for being real, Wyatt Sicks, I guess I'll put all of them up here, 1 second. So there's 5 members, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna kind of cheat here. We're gonna pretend Alexa Bliss, who should be coming back soon, is gonna be included in the Wyatt Sicks. Probably not, but I'm talking evil Alexa here for the sake of this argument. So Wyatt Sicks. Funny enough, I think this group is just better Final Testament, because I have a whole rant on that in a second too. The only thing I don't like about the storytelling of this so far is that when they first appeared and they just took out everybody backstage, there were so many like interesting theories going around, speculation as to like the type of people they were attacking. They were essentially targeting people who turned their back on their family or like close friends, close enough to be considered their family. And I thought that was an interesting motive, but they kind of like after that fell off of that whole thing, and they're just so hard on Chad Gable's dick right now that it's like ruining the story for me. Like there's so many more people that were viable that fell under this category, but they're just like super focused on only Chad Gable. I guess they're gonna do it one feud at a time, but that makes kind of like almost no sense with how long it takes for Triple H to tell a story sometimes. So now it just looks like you're fanboying Chad Gable and like nobody else who like turned on their team. I feel like it would have been more badass if they were actually going after the other people at the same time too. Alright, so we kind of spoke about Final Testament. So, if you notice, I got Akam and Razor. I don't even know which one's who, but I got them in there. I do like Karrion Kross. Alright, here comes the next rant. I should probably leave some breathing room between these, but... Alright, Karrion Kross. Alright, so get a load of this shit. This shouldn't be a hot take, but I absolutely believe Karrion Kross is doing nothing wrong. Karrion Kross is one of the few examples, one of the strongest examples right now, of somebody who could be doing a good job, is doing nothing wrong technically, is a good speaker, good enough in the ring, like good enough to be passing by, but the material that they've been given, like this is a writing problem. Writing/creative problem. It should not be this hard to write an interesting story around the character of Karrion Kross. There is so much you have there, but whether it's you have him 1 week say something cryptic and to immediately lose a match, they're putting him up against the wrong people. They're not having him win in places where he should be winning. So people can't take him serious because you got a guy who's talking like all this cryptic riddles and shit, and then he just loses. So essentially, the next time you see him, whether it's weeks later or whenever he appears again to do the same thing, rinse and repeat with a different person, and again, Triple H taking forever to tell a story, then he just becomes a waste of time in most people's eyes. So this is not his fault. This is booking. You could easily tell a good story here and make this guy a big deal of a character that actually matters. Also, the rest of his group, like, these guys are kind of just here. Theoretically, they don't have to say too much, but again, you're just having them lose. And this was before these two were even added to the group. Before he would come out to his long-winded entrance. His entrance was cool as hell. After the 2 minutes of his entrance, he just loses. So then his entrance looks so over the top, and people, again, it's hard to take him serious. And the reason why I hate this so much is because we can go back as far as that point. And in the perspective of, like, fans that don't know any better, and probably even the company themselves, they look at that timeline, and they see that as, oh, well, we've given him so many chances. That's not on Karrion. That's on your fucking writers and your booking decisions. If there's one statement I hate to hear, and I've heard this before, is the excuse of, oh, he or she is having a hard time connecting with the fans. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why this guy isn't getting over. And the worst thing is that then you'll see people on, like, Twitter echoing the same statement to make it sound like they know what they're talking about. He or she's having a hard time connecting with the fans. Yeah, how about creative connects the pen to the paper in a creative manner? How about that? Yo, connect with this. I'm so tired of that excuse. That excuse, like, got rid of Xia Li and so many other people, for example, that were good talents, but were, like, victim to bad writing or people who just aren't creative enough, in my opinion. Let's use Xia Li as an example. Xia Li was being built up to be a badass, one-shotting people with that kick. She was finally getting a chance, but apparently she was just being built up to fucking be fed to Becky. This isn't the reason why she's here, but hold that thought. There's so much more to this, but I'm not done my rant. Listen, Karrion Kross, I refuse. You cannot tell me that this character is that hard to write for. I like Karrion. I can't say I look forward to him because they're not going to put him in the right situations. Where's New Day? Xavier is actually, like, here for me. Same with Kofi. And now they're adding Odyssey Jones to help tell the story. I don't know how many more weeks before Xavier do something. Right now I'm just kind of, like, okay with, like, all these. I gotta get us back up here before it just sounds like I'm just crying the whole time, so hold that thought. Okay, this is easy. Trish, easy. I'll order this properly in the end. Lita, easy. Goats. Liv Morgan, the best work she's ever done, in my opinion. I think I have her here. Because this storyline's one of the best things happening right now. In fact, this is probably more interesting than current Bloodline at the moment, for me, the whole Judgment Day thing. Also, Liv needs to dye her hair black just to... Just putting this out there, creative. That would kind of make the story more hype to troll Rhea. Hold that thought. Ilya Dragunov. This guy's one of my favorites to watch in ring. If I have, like, a top 3 favorites to WWE standards of in ring that I like watching, it's probably Ilya, Gunther with a good dance partner, and maybe it's like Jacob Fatu or something. I guess Braun too. Yeah, Braun's up there. But anyway, that's a different list. Oh, whoops. Hold on. AJ Styles. So at the moment, I think AJ is probably here. Because again, it's going to be like, this is a mixture of character, entertainment, in ring, and like the story they're involved in to contribute to the entertainment levels. Let's do some R-Truth. Alright, so my thing with R-Truth, this one's bittersweet because I do look forward to him. But again, I've known Ron Killings for a long time. I know dude's 52, but I want to see an axe kick, please. This guy 52, so he just decided to wrestle as John Cena because it's easier. You can't convince me otherwise because this guy is athletic as hell. And at this point, they just have him as a comic relief character. He's funny, but like the level of stupid that they have him be at this point, like there's no way he's that stupid. It's only funny to a degree, but I feel like we're running the same joke kind of like. All right, back to, I guess, pissing people off. Oh, we like Julia. Julia's hype. That's not going to piss people off, but I know Julia before the hype started gathering. Actually, let's get Santos out of here real quick. Santos, I like Santos. This is weird. I like the group, but where's what's her Lopez? You're probably wondering how that works, but let's get rid of some NXT people. Cora Jade. With how little I watched NXT, if people jumped out on my radar, then they must be doing something right. Okay, that's crazy. Hold on. Pretty Deadly. When these guys first debuted, I was like, I just kind of found them annoying. And I felt like they just replaced Maximum Male Models because they were too similar or whatever. I'm all right with Pretty Deadly. Nick Aldis. Again, because these aren't wrestlers, I'm kind of keeping them on the lower end of this. So Nick, I like Nick as a GM. I feel like before Nick was introduced, I actually found Adam Pearce annoying. And I don't think it's till Nick showed up and showed how like a GM should run their show that Adam kind of stepped it up and kind of became a little bit better. You're still here though, son. But yeah, before he was giving me fucking like Trudeau vibes. So yeah, that's why Bronson Reed. I'm war ready. I'm battle tested. So I find it funny that people like didn't really see the hype of this guy until he splashed like Seth Rollins 7 times or whatever it was, and now he's like popular, kind of. Like I see shit before it happens. I'll say I like Damian Priest like 4 months ago or however long, but now people only now starting to like him because he turned babyface, and you're supposed to. He already lost his title though, because that's what people wanted until like near the whatever. Damian, probably about here. Actually, no, probably more than Liv. Same thing with Rhea, the Terror Twins. Pete Dunne, I can see the potential, but now he's attacking people with like a shillelagh, or whatever it's called. It's giving Finlay, so I gotta put him, I think, about here. Creed Brothers, so these two, along with Chad. Oh wait, where's Ivy? These 3, along with Chad. Crazy high potential, but another thing I noticed Triple H seemed to like to do is if you're a heel, you just become the biggest losers, like all kinds of losing streak. And these guys are way too talented to just be at the time of this video. If they're just going to be losing weekly to Wyatt Sicks, then I don't want to see it. But these two, crazy good in ring. Ivy Niles badass too, like I said before. Heel turn's probably good for her too. She needs to start dragging sleeping some of these women. They are up here, but because they're probably just going to be on the losing fucking side of the stories at the moment, I can't put them too much higher because they're just going to be made to look kind of weak for a while, if I had to guess. Paul Heyman, because he's not in ring, I feel like the non-in ring people have to be at the lower end because they're missing part of the formula between in ring, mic work, and character. But obviously the GOAT. Ricochet is not here anymore, but I'll rate him as if he is. Exciting to watch. Character-wise, he didn't have too much. They could have given him a better character to help with his, I guess, lack of mic skills or whatever. But I feel like that's another thing that could have been solved with creative, but they just kind of didn't do anything. Like, there's a pretty easy hack to get around, like, the idea that somebody isn't good on the mic. Most of the times, it's not that they're not good on the mic. It's just what you have them saying. If you just avoid them having to say, like, certain things that, like, sound cringe by dialogue's sake, then you can actually get away with, like, a lot of shit. But, like, for example, Ivy Nile. They had her fucking refer to herself as a pit bull or some shit, which I get that's her nickname, but never talk about yourself. That's like one of the rules. One time Ricochet said, I fucking remember this. He was in a backstage segment and they had this guy say, like his bottom line, his final statement was like, because I'm the cheat code and it's game over. Dog, my ears took so much damage hearing that shit. I couldn't like, what the fuck? Dude. What's crazy about that is I think that sounds like some shit he would, because I think he's actually like a gamer. So he just went full gamer speak, like fully wrong place and time. But yeah, if he's not saying stuff like that, he can say some things and sound all right. I've heard him before get through a promo or a backstage segment and it was like, oh, yeah, we made it. So like, yeah, you just got to, set them up for that kind of shit. CM Punk. I feel like until CM Punk turns heel again, if he does, then his best days are behind him. I'm not digging babyface CM Punk too much. Drew McIntyre in their exchanges oftentimes I find comes out on the better side on the mic. Everybody gonna try and tell you about the pipe bomb, which happened over a decade ago now, and we can't be still like holding on to that as an example for Punk. Drew McIntyre, best work of his career. I probably have Drew about here. Hold on, this is crazy. Punk's not that low. So yeah, Punk, babyface Punk. At the moment, at the time of this video, another thing people do is they watch like these videos late, and then by the time they watch it, however many more weeks have gone by, and it's like, yeah, well, at the time of this video, that shit didn't happen yet. But yeah, as of right now, CM Punk is probably here for me. DIY. Let's do DIY. I likes me some do-it-yourself. This can make people so mad. So DIY. As characters, I don't think like they're the best, but they put on some hype matches, tag team matches, some bangers. So The NXT Black and Gold folk, they can't wait to tell you what these guys were like in NXT Black and Gold. I didn't watch that shit, but NXT Black and Gold folk be like, you gotta understand, you know, Gargano was like kicking out of everything. And then they had like this betrayal storyline where like Ciampa turned on Gargano, and then, oh, it was so good. I don't know what happened, but apparently it was amazing. And it's like, well, how come all these people that had such good runs in NXT under Triple H, why ain't he doing shit with them now? Let's talk about it. And on that topic, what the fuck are they doing with Shinsuke? Shinsuke's another, like, okay, so people try and, you know, they'll try and say WWE's like racist or whatever the fuck when it comes to not pushing certain people and whatever else. I feel like when it comes to Triple H, at least, I feel like he's more ageist than anything. Being foreign doesn't do you any favors from what I'm noticing, but I think it's a mixture of both. Like, if you're foreign and you're like old in his eyes, like look at R-Truth, comic relief, old. Rey Mysterio, he's not going to be doing anything too crazy ever again, probably. Like, I feel like with certain people, superstars, especially if they've had, like, a chance at the top in another era, like, they won't do it again with them. Randy Orton might be an exception to that soon, but, like, let's see. AJ Styles, I'll be surprised if he holds another, like, WWE championship. R-Truth, same thing. That's probably not happening. LA Knight, they took so long just to put even a mid-card title on him, but I think the only reason why they did it is because he's never had a run at the top yet. So, like, it's new. Bobby Lashley, the controversy with him leaving. But yeah, he was talking about how, you know, Triple H obviously has his favorites and Vince saw more in them and whatever, which is a controversial thing to say right now. But yeah, I don't think that's a racism thing. It might be. I might be talking shit, but I think it's more ageist, it seems like. I think age and your levels of English speaking gets in the way more than anything else, it seems like. But yeah, with Bobby, because he's like kind of had a dominant or enough of a dominant run at the top, I feel like Triple H probably just thinks he's old news at this point or doesn't need another run at the top, while he's got like people like Braun Breaker, a young up-and-comer that he wants to make a star. Because you can clearly see who his favorites are. Hold on, let me put Lashley where he actually should be. Bobby's like this high for me. LA Knight, where's LA Knight for me? LA Knight's probably about here for me. He gets a lot of criticism for being like basically a hybrid of Rock and Austin. It's definitely there. I mean, like, it's entertaining, but I feel like there's only so much or so far you can go with that before you gotta like do something else. But yeah, he's not really in any crazy good stories at the moment, so I'll just leave him here. I guess let's talk about Logan Paul since that's who he beat. This is gonna be controversial, but Logan's actually like really good at what he does. Good in the ring. Like, for someone who just like got here, I guess people call him a celebrity guest or whatever. At this point, I think he's just like legit. Good in the ring, has a good look, size, good on the mic. Like, he's literally got all of it, and people probably hate that. And again, he's a good heel. You probably should keep him heel because it just makes more sense and it works better. But yeah, he's good. Hold that thought. Actually, you know what? Hold this thought too. Finn Balor. I like me some Finn. Heel Finn at the moment as a character. Also, I hope, or at the time of this video, apparently there's been news going around that New Judgment Day is about to be called or renamed to Street Trash. Whose idea is that? Also, I like the idea of like Judgment Day being a stable that filters in new members. Like, if they just keep doing that, I think that could be a cool idea that we haven't necessarily seen too much or at all. But yeah, Finn as a character on his own within the group right now is interesting enough. Stuff's about to cook, it seems like, but we'll see where it goes. Natalya's at least here. Shout out to Natalya. They kind of just let her, like, they're just waiting for her to like expire or some shit. I mean, she just re-signed, but you know, this is another ageist like example here where I feel like she's just there now to put over the younger people or whatever. Kairi Sane at the moment. So at the moment, her and Io are now baby faces, which kind of feels like it came out of nowhere. I don't know if I missed an episode or some shit, but Damage Control is now babyface, it seems. And lo and be fucking hold, look who starts winning shit. Like, literally Triple H is like, oh, you're a heel? You lose. Have a losing streak. To be honest, Io's like way higher for me because of in-ring. And character, to be honest, too. But she's probably about here. Amazing. Probably, have I said this before? Io's probably like, I'll say the best in-ring as far as just wrestling and style and just being like clean with it. Io's fucking up there. And again, it helps when you've seen what the person's done outside the company, because that gives you a broader scope of like their actual levels of skill. But yeah, Io's up here. Carmelo. I like Carmelo. Carmelo probably about here. Actually, wait. This is a bit too high considering she hasn't come back yet. So I'm going to do that. Dominic. This may be different now because of the whole Liv Morgan thing. But I feel like before that, people didn't actually hate Dominic. Like, they were just booing him with a smile on their face because they thought it was fun to cut him off because he's going to stop talking every time. Like, it surprises him. But now there's definitely a crowd that hate him because of Liv Morgan. But on some it should have been me type energy. Hold that thought. Rey Mysterio, legendary. But as of right now, I can't say I like look forward to him. It's just that he's nice to see when he shows up. He seems to be going pretty strong for like how long he's been doing it too. Shouts to Ray. Baron Corbin. I'm alright with Corbin. I don't like. I think this is another probably character problem. Like he had to go back to NXT to reinvent himself. Giovanni Vinci. He hasn't debuted yet at the time of this video, but if his character is going where I think it's going, I think I'm gonna like this. But because it hasn't debuted yet, I'm gonna put him about here because I see the vision. Where's Kaiser? Kaiser's funny for like the wrong reason for me. Like Kaiser just comes off like he just looks untrustworthy. Like this guy looks like the slimiest villain ever. Gunther, one of the greatest villains of this era, in my opinion. The reason why I like Gunther so much, not only because he has like banger matches, if I'm being real, hold on. It's because, now this might change now, but he was the only one who seems to be breaking the rules of if you're a heel, you have to cheat to win. He was pretty much doing it clean, and you barely ever see that now. But my theory as to why we ever saw it in the first place is because technically he was fighting mid-card people. So he wasn't going up against any of the super protected people. So we'll see what happens when that starts happening. Which they're probably just going to avoid doing that just so that they don't write themselves into a corner. So that's kind of cop-out. Anyways, Apollo. This is another case of like, for a guy as talented as him, for a long time they were just kind of doing nothing with him. They kind of got some shit going with him with Baron at the moment, which is like, it seems kind of like fun. I like Apollo. Sami Zayn. I like Sami the most peak Bloodline story. Right now, I kind of just like him. He's all right. There was a period where he was starting to kind of get a little bit annoying to me as a character. Like he was champ and they just had him doing the underdog shtick for the whole time. It's like, dude, just like, you know, when you're talking like, oh my gosh, yes, you may be bigger than me and stronger than me. This guy's holding gold while he's saying this. He's like, but I have heart. Like, what? And when you knock me down, I get back up. Dog. I don't want to hear that from a champion. If the people think that you're not going to win as a champion, shut them up by proving them wrong, kayfabe. Don't sit there and play the underdog while you're holding gold. That's so weird. Yeah, I had a fluke victory like 3 times. Yeah. Alright, I don't watch NXT, but Obafemi, from the little I see on him, hype. He's probably going to be a problem later on in the future for the roster. Dragon Lee. Right now it's kind of just like whatever. Oh shit. Wait. Hold on, I didn't notice this. People probably been screaming at that. Sheamus can be alright. I probably have him about here. Jordan Grace from TNA. She's gonna be a good one. Again, I made a video on this already, but the more they start getting women like Jordan Grace and like some of these other like super strong muscle mommies, I'm never calling them that. Yeah, it's gonna make it harder for the Instagram girls of the roster. I look forward to when she starts. I'll put her here for now. Nah, mean. JD McDonough. No, I'm joking. JD, like, definitely the weakest link of Judgment Day, it seems. I guess it didn't help that he was, like, begging his way into the group and then started gatekeeping, like, other members, like R-Truth when he was... I don't hate JD. He's actually pretty good in the ring, too. Like, he's pretty impressive in there. But I think I put JD, like, actually about here. Otis. I'm kind of just, like, okay with Otis. I just don't like what they're trying to, like, make me think with Otis. Like, the story's trying too hard to tell me what to think. Also, were people thinking, like, the breakup of Alpha Academy was going to lead to Otis becoming World Heavyweight Champion or some shit? Because I think they're about to be disappointed. Maxine. I feel like the Maxine character comes off kind of, like, it doesn't fit without Chad Gable also being in the group. So now that it's just Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa, to me that feels like a weird trio. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. And obviously in the ring, people think she's, like, not ready. And as a character, she's kind of just there for, like a sympathy, like, verbal punching bag for Chad, it seems. So this is a hard one. I think we'll just put her beside Otis for now. Austin Theory. I'm completely okay with Austin Theory being a heel. I don't know why, like, people want him to be face or think that him being a face is going to automatically make him popular. I guess subconsciously they're noticing that Triple H just has like too many loser heels that just stay losing, and that if he turns babyface, maybe he'll actually win something. So, but yeah, they need to progress this fucking story and have him like get on to the next phase of whatever they have him doing. I'll say I like him, but I can't say I look forward at the moment with where we're at in the story. Grayson's another one who's good. He's good at being slimy heel. Just gotta put him beside him. Carlito of the Judgment Day. Felt kind of like a weird addition at first, but he's gotten better, more entertaining as the weeks went on. Probably have him about here. Braun Strowman. I don't know how far they're gonna go with him. Again, at the time of this video, they just had him fight Bronson Reed, and he just got like put through a car, essentially. I don't know if they have any championships in mind for him. I feel like it's a matter of time before they just run out of things to do with him and he kind of just like falls off a little bit. But at the moment, I don't think this is peak Strowman. So I think I kind of just got him here. Ariana, I like Ariana. She's funny. She's like, I guess NXT's Chelsea Green almost. I'll put her there. And speaking of Chelsea Green, put her about there. The freaking Pure Fusion Collective, is it called? I think that name made them lose points for me. Like, I liked the idea of the trio, but now that they're called this, dude, Pure Fusion Collective, Street Trash. Like, what are we doing with these like stable names? The Pride. What the fuck is going on? Hold on, checkpoint. Let me get the other two up here real quick. So, at the moment, until anything gets started that's interesting, I think I gotta just put them about here. Because like when I see them, I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do, to see if it's gonna be good. So I'm still like kind of interested to see where it goes, but it's gonna be another 9 weeks before we see any kind of progression. Street Profits. Street Profits probably up here for me. Trick Williams. Again, NXT, but I have seen a little bit of Trick Williams. He cool. Hype entrance. Maybe the best, most badass sing-along entrance. I definitely like Trick Williams. And I actually look forward to him on the main roster, so I think I put him about here. John Cena. Now, where do you think I'm going to put John Cena? To the people that have been here before just now. Where am I at with John Cena in 2024? I like / enjoy. Now, this is weird for Cena because he's not active. The only reason why he's here and not any higher is because I don't look forward to him, technically. Like, if he shows up again, cool. If he doesn't, well, yeah, he's going to show up again because of, like, Netflix. So we'll see how his farewell tour is going to go. It has the potential to be hype, but at the time of this video, that part hasn't happened yet. And Rock returns have been more hype than Cena returns, in my opinion. So, yeah, Cena, last time he returned, he just lose to Solo and that was it. And then he lost to Austin Theory before that. So I can't say it's been too hype. But yeah, Cena, he's all right. This is higher than it would have been the further you go back in time, up until like 2005. So hold these thoughts. Andrade, he's cool in the ring. He's had some bangers with Carmelo. But as a character, I feel nothing. Like, he gives me like nothing to connect to. If we're just going purely off in ring, maybe here, just for his Carmelo matches at the moment. Candice LeRae, this is another example of they haven't really done anything with her for how good she is. So I gotta put her at least here. Hey, NXT Black and Gold folk, your boy Triple H ain't Triple H'ing, it seems. Explain. Fuck, what's her name? Tegan Knox. For a second it looked like they were about to do something with her and then she just disappeared. I saw the vision, but now I don't see anything because she's not on the show. But I did kind of like her. I could see something happening with her. But let me get this out the way because this is probably gonna make some people mad. But for as long as The Miz has been doing it, I don't know what it is, but I struggle to take him serious, like, at all. I don't know what it is. I definitely like him more as a heel, but something about The Miz, like, he just doesn't look the part to me, or something. Like, he doesn't look like a wrestler. Him in his suit looks more correct than him coming out looking like some kind of the Karate Kid and then rapping with R-Truth. That's gotta be the whitest rap of all time. Not that white rap is like not allowed, but The Miz is I don't know what it is. And in ring, he doesn't come off too amazing to me. He's all right. He's good on the mic for sure. That's how he has best quality about him, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, he needs a beard or something. He needs to change his gear. He needs to like change his hair or some shit. Raquel. She's got cool back muscles. Nia Jax. I've already spoke on this a little bit in another video, but Nia Jax is another one who I think is doing the best work of her career, or has been in recent. I gotta put her at least here, I think. Shotzi, I like Shotzi. I think there's more they can do with the Shotzi character. Because Shotzi is like similar to, did I do Mia Yim already? For me, Shotzi and Mia Yim are in the same boat. You got two girls, badass looking, like stylistically look cool as hell. Add the appropriate character. They're kind of doing it with Mia Yim at the moment. She's coming off more badass than she's ever like felt. Before, she kind of just felt like a background character to AJ Styles' group, but now she's kind of on her own, doing a little bit more of her own thing, and she's badass. If they continue doing that, then she's probably like here for me. And same thing for me would go for Shotzi. At the moment, they haven't really done anything with her, so I think I gotta keep her a little bit down here. But I definitely like Shotzi and want to like Shotzi, so. Hold these thoughts. Carmella, is she coming back soon? She's not the one who just had a kid. I think that was after Alexa though, so I think she's out for a little bit longer still. Carmella's like, it's like whatever. I think the most I enjoyed Carmella is when she was tagging with, or hanging around with R-Truth in the 24/7 championship. That was some fun. All right, we're almost getting to the end here. Blair Davenport, I haven't seen enough of yet to have a full opinion, so I'm gonna also put her here. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, I definitely like and enjoy. Their entrance is crazy. I like their dynamic. They just had them lose the titles back to Bianca and Jade. Okay, so as I drag Jade here, this might call for something. I might have to actually, hold on, before I drag her up. I don't know if this is gonna fuck my video over if I do this. Jade gets a lot of hate because she's kind of, I guess, been pushed to the top before she's like ready in the eyes of a lot of people, just because she has like the look that WWE likes. So they're trying to portray her as a big deal. So they think Jade is just an entrance. So on the topic of entrance, because I remember people said this before, they actually thought Jade's entrance music right now is the same as what she had in AEW. It's not. AEW version's way better. Her entrance altogether is better. Hold on. I assume if this video is up for this guy, then you can watch AEW shit without getting assassinated. Watch this pyro. Now that's some aura. I want Jade to be good, just because of how hyped her versus Bianca will be. That's so sick. This entrance is better than the WWE version. I just want to see the pyro one more time.
Since her arrival here in AEW and now
the baddies.
With the baddies. It just seems like Jade Cargill only gets stronger day by day.
That's so hype. I'm sorry. Anyways, let me show you the difference in music real quick, then we'll move on. All right, so this is the WWE. Am I gonna get hit for this? All right, here it is.
Storm is coming.
So they kept like the same idea of the theme. But this, I think, is way better. The guitar goes crazy on this too. So yeah, similar idea. They tried to copy this kind of. I wonder if AEW music assassinates you for fucking listening. I still prefer this one over the WWE one, for sure. But yeah, Jade as a wrestler in the WWE right now. I like Jade. I want her to do well, because she's getting a lot of shit from certain crowds. Yeah, I think her versus Bianca could be hype. I feel like they're still trying to finesse or cover up the holes in her game, I guess. So it's kind of hard to tell where her progress is at. People will still like have no problem saying she's still trash or she's not getting better because fucking she like botched that one time a couple weeks ago. Like, Twitter gave her shit for that. She did like a springboard, or she was going for a springboard crossbody, and she slipped off the top rope, which people have slipped off the top rope before. I don't know why this is like being looked at as like a Jade exclusive. Like, and that same night somebody else slipped. I forget who it was. But Twitter, of course, takes it the extra mile and like lies in the details to make it sound worse than it was, saying like, oh, why would she even go for that? She's never hit that before. Why did she try and do it? It's like, actually, she has hit that before. Like, I don't know why you gotta add these extra that's the one thing I hate about Twitter. But yeah, Jade, I definitely like and enjoy Jade when she's doing good. Bianca, I think Bianca's about here for me. Great in the ring. One of the more exciting women to watch. Like, probably actually one of... Okay, so the difference here. So Io and Bianca are probably my 2 favorite women to watch in ring at the moment. The reason why Liv is above Bianca and like Alexa is full character and storyline carry right now. But Bianca is like probably the perfect balance of an athlete. I said this before, of a mix of strength and athleticism, whether it be like high flying and shit like that. She's like the perfect blend of both. Hold that thought. All right, let's get the party girls out the way. I definitely like them as a tag team. They're fun to watch. I like their style, their entrance. They're not a part of any good story, like big storylines, obviously at the moment. But yeah, you know, I enjoy. Zelina Vega, same thing. Piper Niven, I'm okay with. Naomi, I feel like Triple H has passed her too. For me, peak Naomi was when she first debuted like the glow gimmick and then became champion with it. As of right now, I probably have her about here. There is no way this list is not gonna piss off anybody. Hold that thought. Dakota, I like Dakota. She just got injured again though at the top of this video. I think she deserves a chance at like a solo run to develop her character more. Like a few weeks back at the time of this video, I guess a clip was going around of her speaking out about this, about wanting that opportunity. And then I guess by bad timing, she got fucking injured with like some kind of, she torn like a meniscus or some shit? Or some kind of leg injury? I forget what it was, if it was her. Yo, Dakota, leg injury. Cora Jade, leg injury. Nikita Lyons, leg injury. Like, Valhalla. Okay, in this character, I don't think we've seen her or Viking Raiders for a while. I actually like Valhalla. I don't know if I say I look forward to, but... I'll put her about... Oh, she dropping. Because she doesn't really wrestle, she dropped like extreme. But yeah, she's at least here, I guess. Let me talk about this real quick. Lara Valkyria. I probably got about here. I wouldn't say I look forward yet. I gotta see where they go with her character. But I don't know if I said this in my other video, but I'll just say it again quickly here. They gotta be careful with her. At the moment, they seem to have chilled out a little bit, but in the very beginning, it looks like they're about to like push her to the moon and beat like all the veterans like Naomi and whoever else she beat, I forgot. But it's like, if you go that route with her, then people are just gonna assume that it's Becky Lynch that's in Triple H's ear, trying to like vouch and like, you know, push her because she's also Irish and like she's the future and all this shit. All right, let me explain this finally before I get these three finished. So why are these three here? So as you see, the tier says don't like / annoying or tainted. Now, if I had room for a fourth, it probably would have been like Matt Riddle. Aside from that, no one else has really ever been in this tier historically for me. Except for maybe like John Cena during his fucking Superman push. That shit was annoying. You understand, to get here, significant shit has to have happened more than once for me to just feel a little bit more than not much care. And for Becky Lynch, or all three of them in fact, a lot of it was what I was noticing, whether it be like interviews that they take part of and hearing shit that they were saying and the backstage politics that seems to be connected to like all three of them at the time and shit like this. Just some off-putting shit, right? And the moment between them with like the belt that doesn't help their case when they're supposed to trade belts, and then like, I guess egos got in the way, people believing in their own hype and trying to sabotage like the presentation of what was supposed to, like shit like this. Just petty shit that just makes them look like so... bad, essentially. For these two, a lot of it was like interviews at the time.
Rhea Ripley right now, if you had to tell her about her ass, sticking it in people's faces, what do you feel? Are you gonna be sitting there in the corner waiting for that ass in the face, or are you gonna be like, I'm gonna kick your ass?
Yeah, no. That just sucks that we're talking about that.
I know.
That's
there.
Yeah, you know, like when I think of the amount of women that were at one stage fighting against that treatment, like that was what they were forced to do in 2-minute matches, and I kind of go, and maybe I'm just like stuffy and jaded because this is the stuff that I had to fight against. Of course everybody loves it and it's cool and it's edgy, but if I'm a little girl sitting in the crowd and if I have my daughter and she's seeing that, and she's thinking that that's what she needs to be if she's a professional wrestler, and that's the stuff that's getting a reaction. And if I'm a girl who's growing up and wants to be a professional wrestler, and I see, oh well, that's the stuff that gets a reaction, and that's the stuff that people are talking about, and that's the stuff that we're posting on social media, and we continue to, even the company does and pushes that, then that is the stuff that gets over, and then I'm not taken seriously for what I do in the ring and for the person that I am and the mind that I have. No, it's just about my body, it's about how it looks, and it's about fulfilling a bunch of men's fantasies out there in the crowd, and it becomes not about the art, it becomes about that. And I've fought so long to change that, and so I kind of go, when I'm talking about that and when I'm forced to answer about that, I go, that just fucking sucks. That just fucking sucks.
Like somebody else had said, I forget, I think it was another superstar even, that said that Seth should probably stay off of social media, because I think he said some embarrassing shit responding to somebody. I can't remember. I don't know if it was the Matt Riddle thing. It was probably something else, because there were so many things that was happening. And for me, this goes back before he even got the championship. Because again, being cursed with backstage knowledge without even like necessarily looking for it, just existing on Twitter, you'll get some of this insider shit. It basically, if you put everything together, it essentially felt like Becky, probably both of them, but
It basically felt like he likely cried his way backstage to the championship.
and then of course it was around the time where Seth just would not shut up about Roman.
Dear Roman, I think it's time you stop pretending you're some unbeatable champ, because you ain't been out here defending.
Like any chance he got, he was trying to like basically tell the audience what to think. Like, hey, you should like me and not Roman. I'm a champion that's always here. Roman's never here. Blah, 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 right? So between these three, just a lot of annoying background shit was happening to the point where I was just like, yo, you guys coming off way too try-hard and annoying. And they all pretty much probably think... There was another thing Becky said. I think she said, if I retired right now, I'd be the best woman of all time or some shit. And it's like, you can say things like that, but when you hear all the things that these two have said, especially in interviews, and then some fans get rubbed the wrong way by it, and then the fans of them will try and come to the defense and say, oh, you're getting worked. It's like, no. They're babyface at the time of this. Like, this is not what babyfaces do. If they were heels at the time saying this shit, then yeah, you can use that they got worked or people are getting worked argument. But the fact that they were babyfaces, like, just made it more like out of place and felt like it's legit and that they just believe in their own hype and they're like crying backstage and shit like that. So that's what kind of put me off of them. And Seth was just obnoxious as a character too. I didn't like any of that shit. The singing, the fucking laughing, the high heels, fucking... Like, it felt like he was trying way too hard to get people to hate Roman and like him more. I remember when he, like, was begging Cody to challenge him for his championship instead. And then, of course, Charlotte's just Charlotte. Just, like, overhyped, given championship opportunity after opportunity, and built a legacy off of that, essentially. It's like, yeah, she was good for, like, her era. But where we're at right now, like, these two aren't the best anymore. In fact, I don't even think they were the best horsewomen, let alone... Like, as far as all the horsewomen... I feel like Bayley's the only one that has, like, no controversy attached to her. And what's annoying about that is she seems to be the one that they treat like the worst. Obviously, Sasha's not here right now, but Bayley's probably my favorite horsewoman. Where'd I put Bayley now? Probably about here. I like heel or face Bayley, which is rare. But yeah, I just think they need to, I guess, respect her more, because she's the one that's not, like, making everybody look bad. But yeah, shout outs to Bayley. So like I said, it would have been these three and Matt Riddle. I guess I'll speak on Riddle for a second as to why he would be here. This is around the time, obviously, when he was still with the company and people were like, oh my god, I love this Matt Riddle and Randy Orton pairing. To me, I thought Matt Riddle was fucking dragging Randy Orton down in the sense that I feel like Randy could have been involved in way better character storylines at the time. But I guess people like the Matt Riddle gimmick. I thought it was annoying. Him as a person, okay, first of all, a couple of times this has happened. Because he used to be in, I think it was UFC or whatever. I guess Dana got rid of him. Then he goes to WWE. For what reason, I don't know. But if you're an MMA guy and you go to WWE and then you lose matches in WWE, you can't use the like, oh, I would beat all these guys in a real fight and then start getting salty. It's like, if you cared about the results like that, then you would have stuck to MMA. So like that, like the ego of that kept like seemingly coming up a couple times for Matt Riddle. And it was just like so confusing. It's like, why are you doing the wrestling? It's like, just do MMA if you want to like talk about like actual legit records and shit. Kevin Owens. I like Kevin Owens. For a minute, he almost dropped down for me because they were kind of like, it wasn't even like so much his fault, but it was when him and Sammy, I think, were tag team champions. And then, of course, Triple H going full Triple H, making the heels just look like complete losers, and then using the baby faces to do all the low-hanging fruit jabs at the people you're supposed to hate, like whether it be these two or like Dominic. Like, what? I can't hear you over the crowd. Like, shut up. Hey, it'd be a shame if the crowd booed you right now. Oh, let me punch both these guys in the face at the same time. It's like, what? So just give me badass Kevin Owens and then leave it at that. But yeah, and Tiffany Stratton, I've said this before, but I like the Tiffany Stratton character. I think it's funny, and I think it's a lot of stories that you can tell with it. She's fun to watch in the ring, athletic. She's got the look. She's definitely the future. She's like up here. If Braun is the future male superstar of the company, Tiffany is definitely up there for like the women. It's probably like Rhea and Tiffany. I think Tiffany's a little bit younger, but where does she land though? At the moment, I think I put her about, hold on, I just noticed Logan was like, oh no, wait, what? How did that happen? Okay, Logan isn't above Wyatt Sicks unless they slip up. Ew, I had Logan above Jacob Fatu. What happened? Did I just drop him and forget to? This is a bit more correct. Okay, I'll settle for this. So this is it. This is my tier list. Probably the most controversial shit that, again, this is just me, because ain't no way anybody gonna have anything close to this list. Definitely a lot of people mad at this one. Yeah, so don't like / annoying / tainted. Not much care. Neutral / whatever, okay. I like / enjoy. Great / I look for. And then Oscar by far. Tyzik Thunder. I'm out.
Set up.
Lives to fight under. Oh, no! Take on more and more damage. Seth reverse. Single leg. Oh! Taken up in that area. Something needs to be done.
You have to show some remorse at this point. Come on. Aww.
Time is up, and this ends in a draw.